The non-aggression axiom holds that it is inherently illegitimate for someone to initiate force against someone else, or for one group to initiate force against another group or an individual, or that person's property. Now, I don't think anyone would really disagree with that in principle, but it's when you try to apply it to real life, and in this case, the subject is taxation, that you run into all kinds of trouble. Because I would hold that by the logic of property and ownership, taxation or questioning of taxation is ultimately a property dispute. If someone withholds their taxes and is coerced by the government, it is only because they have opted out of any peaceful arbitration system to decide how that disputed property, i.e. the would-be taxes, are to be awarded. Who gets to possess them? The government or the individual? Who decides? If I just stop paying my taxes and I dare the government to do something about it, I have, in a sense, scuppered the dispute mechanism upon which property ultimately resides, and the dispute mechanism upon which the non-aggression principle is based. Now, one could say that, no, I haven't done that because this is my money and the government is taking it from me. Well, who says that it's mine? In what absolute sense? I would say that nine-tenths of what ends up in front of a judge is a property dispute. It's not always easy and clear to determine who owns what. You have to have some sort of way of getting an agreement on a subject over which no voluntary negotiation is possible, or no voluntary negotiation between the two disputing parties is possible. You have to go to a third party. That's what creates the state. That's what creates the police. That's what creates the courts. That's ultimately what creates the armies. If it were so easy to determine in any given case who was the aggressor in any given circumstance, any given coercive circumstance, I would hold that the state would never have arisen in the first place. But it's not clear. It almost never is. You think that it's clear who starts wars? Okay, well, you tell me, who was ultimately responsible for the last war that started? Let's just say the last war is the Iraq War. Whose fault was that? Do you think we can get an agreement on that? No. Whose fault was the previous Gulf War? Whose fault was the Vietnam War, the Second World War, the First World War? Is there an absolute yardstick by which we can judge in any given circumstance who is the aggressor? There isn't. And in tandem with that, is there a way by which we can so engineer society that people will peacefully abide by negotiation in terms of dispute resolution, be that over property or anything else? No. That's where the state comes in. The non-aggression axiom says that reaction to aggression is justified. The problem is, how do we decide who is reacting and who is initiating? It's never, ever that simple in real life. Thank you.